Say it with me, the mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell. Okay, now that that's done with, it's time to test your knowledge on a biology topic I'm sure you've studied at least some point in your educational career: cells. All of these questions are based on actual assessment questions at different educational levels. We're going to start off easy, then work our way up the educational ladder until we get to college/AP level questions. And you're going to stick with us for as long as you can. Let me know in the comments how far you get before you get one wrong. You can also use this as a review if you're in a higher educational level. Sometimes being able to explain the most basic things to somebody else, or to explain why certain wrong answers are wrong, can highlight gaps in your knowledge and understanding. So turn your biology brain on and let's go. All right, starting off easy, which of these is not made of cells? Take a look at the answers and lock in your answer choices in 3, 2, 1. That's right, the video game controller is not a living thing, so it is not made of cells. Next elementary question. What is one difference between these two living things? We have the amoeba and the octopus. One is living and non-living. One is made of a single cell and the other is made of many cells. One is able to reproduce and the other can't reproduce. One can move, the other can't. Think about your answer choices. And lock it in 3, 2, 1. Correct answer is one is made of a single cell and the other is made of many cells. That's the octopus, which is multicellular. All right, next elementary question. Put the following things in order from smallest to largest. I'll give you a second to look at the choices. All right, lock in your answers in 3, 2, and 1. Correct answer is A, cell, muscle, human. All right, now we're in our middle school questions. If you're still with us, let's keep going. Which is not part of a typical animal cell? Chloroplast, cell membrane, nucleus, or mitochondria? Think about it. Correct answer is chloroplast, the location of photosynthesis in plants, so that would not be part of an animal cell. Next middle school level question. In a human, the circulatory system delivers nutrients and oxygen throughout the body. Which part of a single cell amoeba performs a similar job, allowing nutrients and oxygen through? Chloroplast, cell membrane, nucleus, mitochondria? Think about your answer choices and lock it in 3, 2, 1. Answer is B, cell membrane, semi-permeable, allowing certain substances in, others out, while preventing other materials from getting inside. All right, next middle school question. A scientist observes an unknown living thing with many cells. The cells have cell walls, nuclei, and chloroplast. What category of living things might this organism belong to? Think about your answer choices. We've got fungi, animals, bacteria, and plants. Correct answer is 3, 2, 1. Lock it in. D, plants. So we have a cell wall, which could be bacteria, fungi, or plant, but we also have nuclei, which means it's definitely eukaryotic, so plant, animal, or fungi. Chloroplast, that is our clue that it is most likely a plant. All right, a single cell paramecium does not have specialized structures for movement outside the cell, structures for storing and digesting food, groups of specialized cells working together, or a nucleus with genetic material. Think about the answers. And lock it in 3, 2, 1. Correct answer is groups of specialized cells working together. Remember, single cell, we're not going to have a multicellular organism here. This is just the paramecium, which is one cell big. All right, we are on to high school level questions. If you're still with us, let's keep going. And remember, these are getting a little bit more challenging, so feel free to pause the video if you need a little bit more time to lock your answers in before I reveal the right choice. This image shows 2 mitochondria in a human cell. What is the purpose of the inner folds inside the organelles? Increase volume for more energetic reactions. Increase surface area for more energetic reactions. Decrease surface area for more energetic reactions, or decreased volume for more energetic reactions. Lock in your answer choices in 3, 2, and 1. Correct answer is increase surface area for more energetic reactions. Great job. Next up, this table shows 3 cells and their characteristics. Which ones is or are more likely prokaryotic? Take a second to look at the table. And lock in those answer choices in 3, 2, 1. Correct answer is B, cell 2. Cell 2 has a cell wall and ribosomes, but no nucleus and no membrane-bound organelles like mitochondria and chloroplasts, so this one is most likely the prokaryote. All right, an organism has a disease that causes damage to its lysosomes. What could happen in the cells? Inability to photosynthesize, energy shortage, deletion of genes, or toxic waste buildup. Think about your answer choices. All right, lock in those answers in 3, 2, and 1. Correct answer is toxic waste buildup. Great job. Let's keep going. What is one shared characteristic of a bacterial cell and a mammalian muscle cell? Genetic material stored in a nucleus, cell membranes made of phospholipids, mitochondria with inner membrane folds, or a rigid peptidoglycan cell wall. Think about it. In 3, 2, 1, correct answer is those cell membranes made of phospholipids. Remember, they both have genetic material, but only the eukaryotic cell has it stored inside a nucleus. They both have cell membranes made of phospholipids, but only the mammalian cell will have mitochondria, and only the bacteria will have that rigid cell wall. All right, next up, our last high school question before we move to the college level. Which sequence of terms is correct from simplest to most complex? I'm going to let you read these on your own, and we'll lock in our answer choices in a minute. Correct answer is C. Great job. All right, now we're at college level. This chart shows 3 cells and their calculated surface area to volume ratios. Which cell is most likely an intestinal epithelial cell and why? Take a second to read the answer choices and take a look at that table before locking in your answers. Cell 3, because a higher surface area to volume ratio makes diffusion of materials more efficient throughout the cell. Great work. Next question. Which organelle is correctly paired with its function? Peroxisome, enzymatic breakdown of substances, Golgi apparatus, protein synthesis, microtubule, ribosomal subunit formation, or lysosome, lipid synthesis, and carbohydrate metabolism. Think about your answers. And lock those choices in 3, 2, and 1. A peroxisome has lots of enzymes, including enzymes that are going to break down things like hydrogen peroxide, which could be toxic to the cell. All right, which type of cell would be the most useful for studying mitochondria? Bacterial cell, red blood cell, nerve cell, or muscle cell? All right, lock in those answer choices in 3, 2, and 1. Correct answer is muscle cell. That's right, muscle cells need lots of ATP energy, so this one would most likely have the most mitochondria. All right, trypsin 1 is a digestive enzyme secreted by pancreatic cells. What pathway will the protein likely take after its initial synthesis? All right, so take a look at those pathways here and lock in your answer choices. Right answers coming in 3, 2, and 1. Correct answer is endoplasmic reticulum to Golgi apparatus to those secretory vesicles. All right, what is one characteristic of mitochondria that supports the theory of endosymbiosis? Up to 10 micrometers long, contains enzymes, surrounded by a double membrane, or generates ATP. Lock in those answer choices. In 3, 2, 1, and surrounded by a double membrane is our answer choice. This is one piece of evidence, along with the fact that mitochondria have their own DNA. We see them replicate independently from the rest of the cell. Of course, being surrounded by a double membrane also supports this theory. Did you get all the way through? Let me know in the comments below how well you did. Thanks so much for watching. Give this video a like if it's been helpful, and I'll see you later.